We are out here today in Zuccotti Park. You are with New York City's Young Republicans,
Yep.
but you guys organized an Reoccupy protest. Can you tell me why you came out and why you decided to do a Reoccupy?
Look, I think this is a bipartisan red meat issue. A lot of people are pissed off about what they saw the last few days. We saw the largest transfer of wealth from these big corrupt hedge funds to the little guy, and basically we were sold a bill of goods. You know, if you want to trade, if you want to buy stocks, if you want to make money legitimately, you can do it. And that's what the Reddit guys did. The Reddit guys saw an opportunity with this over-shorting a GameStop, and they did a short squeeze, which is a legitimate market response to over-shorting an asset into oblivion. And then they started making money. These guys became millionaires. They were buying homes, they were paying their student loans, they were paying their medical bills. They were doing good things with this money, and they made an honest buck. And then what happened? Then Janet Yellen starts making phone calls, then Citadel started making phone calls, and they shut down trading. But they didn't actually shut down trading, because that would have been a little more legitimate. What they did is they shut down the ability to buy stock. They only allowed you to sell. And so what happens? The price was going to tank. And as the price tanked, it allowed Citadel to get out of their positions. It allowed Melvin Capital to get out of their positions, which they should have done when the price hit 40. Because what does this come down to? It comes down to incompetence at the hedge funds. These guys have billions of dollars under management. They have a staff of tons of analysts, and they couldn't put one schmuck to go watch what's happening on the Reddit forums to be like, hey, these guys are up to something. Maybe we should do something. So if you're getting paid millions of dollars to manage billions and you lose, you lose. That's the market. That's a market fair and square.
Let me follow up with you. There seems to be some bipartisan consensus here, but nobody's really brought up bills besides this one bill that actually Elizabeth Warren was talking about last year, that she wanted to tax all Wall Street trades. So do you support something like that? Or what's a concrete policy example besides, I mean, we could be out here yelling at the sky all day. Elizabeth Warren actually brought forward a bill. So what are we actually going to do, though?
Elizabeth Warren is controlled opposition. She's a hack. She went out with her stupid statement attacking the Reddit guys as the bad guys here. She was vilifying them and running cover for the hedge funds. She is the most controlled opposition, phony leftist I've ever seen. If you're a left-winger and you're consistently anti-market, I can understand that. That's logically consistent. If you're a libertarian and you're super free market, I can understand that. It's a logical position. But people like Elizabeth Warren are just as bad as the CNBC analysts claiming that this is the free market. They're all hacks, they're all phonies.
You wouldn't support a tax on Wall Street trades?
What we need to do is we need to let the market do its thing. This was a self-regulating aspect of the market. When the short sellers overshort an asset, you can short squeeze. That is a balancing act. It's a yin and a yang.
I want to also follow up. In some ways, this is a Reoccupy. You guys are the New York City Young Republicans. Are you just appropriating, something that the left wing did in the past? And I don't know, are Republicans really just, Democrats from 10 years ago? Why are you guys calling yourself Reoccupy? 10 years ago, they used to say things like eat the rich at Occupy Wall Street. Look, do you guys support ideas like that?
Look, there's a massive political realignment happening in this country, and I think a lot of people are stuck in this 20-year-old dichotomy that it's like Reaganite libertarian type of people versus left-wing socialists. It's not like that. There's a populist working class movement that's rising up that is sort of in line with what Trump was saying, that has elements that are more maybe left-wing on economic issues, more populist in rhetoric. People don't realize that's happening. That's what we're doing. Now, if there's common ground and there's issues of commonality between the left and the right, sure, I'm willing to partner with them. And as far as the appropriation, I mean, that's so stupid. There's no appropriating.
AOC says things like eat the rich. Do you think, somebody like Ted Cruz could work with somebody like AOC, and you'd be happy to work with somebody who says eat the rich, among other things?
I was talking to people here that literally had communist bandanas on. I have no problem. All my friends.
You're willing to work with communists?
I mean,
the DSA.
Look, this is an issue of corruption. Actually, there was a guy from the DSA here. And he was complaining. He was like, the DSA has been taken over by radical Marxists, and I'm just a radical socialist, which I found was hilarious. And I was talking to him. We were having a coffee. But anyway,
you're willing to work with these guys.
This is an issue of corruption and crime that everyone could get behind. I mean, it's like saying everyone's against murder. Everyone's against basic things. Maybe some of our policy prescriptions are wrong, but we can get here and expose this issue for what it is, and we can say this is bad. Maybe we'll start to disagree when we get into the weeds of the policy, but at least let's meet here. And yes, maybe down the line there are some issues economically people can get behind, but the biggest issue is that Ted Cruz put out that feeler to AOC and be like, oh, can you work with me? And she's like, I've been murdered. It's ridiculous. It's hysterical.
Do you feel like you're just wasting your time trying to reach out to people on the left? No. Because they label you guys fascists. There are groups in New York City who call you guys fascists, so
It's a joke.
Are these people you could even work with? Why waste your time trying to reach out?
There's something that's very annoying. that I would love to reach out to them and talk about issues, but they're so caught up in this religion of wokeism and racial politics that the second you try to speak to them, they just go into this like Marxian dialectic and they start ranting and raving about semantics. It's like, wake up, we have a red meat issue here that we could get behind, and you guys are just doing a circle jerk over like, oh, who was the real Occupy? Oh, when I was down there, I didn't bathe for a week, we're the real deal. It's like, shut up!
I know you've done